Bringing Cornel West on all of this as we'll watch the pictures at Fordham. Of course, he's the independent candidate for president. He knows all about these protests. We showed the video of him last time he was on the show up at Columbia with the protesters. Dr. West, thank you for coming on. Just your thoughts on how this has been handled from your point of view here over the last few days, including last night at Columbia.
It's always a blessing to talk with you, my brother, to know anytime you have military occupation on college campuses, it's clear that there's been a moral meltdown and a spiritual breakdown. The students are bearing witness to something that is as real as a heart attack, which is the genocide, the apartheid-like conditions, and the ethnic cleansing in which, think about this, we're talking about universities. All the universities in Gaza have been leveled. The libraries, the laboratories. There's thousands and thousands and thousands of students who have been murdered, professors murdered, you yourself, sophisticated journalists. Over 100 journalists have been killed, my brother.
Right.
That's what the students,
what they're protesting. But even you, at a certain point, and you've been involved in civil disobedience for years and years,
Sure.
you know kind of if you go in and you break the law, you're probably going to get arrested. I mean, if you break into a building like they did at Columbia, I mean, at some point, that's what they have to do, don't they?
Oh, that's true. And they have been willing to bear the consequences. That's
Okay.
Martin King, that's Fannie Lou Hamer. They went to jail. But the thing is, we got to zero in on what they're highlighting. At Columbia, it was named after a little precious 5-year-old Palestinian sister named Hines, right? That she's gone, and her members of her family are gone. So to zero in on what they're highlighting, and it's amazing to me that these administrators can't somehow disinvest from a genocide and make transparent their investments. The universities have become so corporate-like that they're listening much closer to their donors than they are their students and their faculty. I'm glad to see the faculty out there, not just at Columbia, but other places.
Right.
But you're absolutely right.
What do you want them to do, though? What do you want them to do specifically on that? You remember we did the story on the anti-apartheid protests in the 80s. There was divestment at Columbia from companies associated with South Africa, right? You know, in this case, it seems to me at least, that's harder to do. I mean, there's, you know, we did some stats the other day on companies that are directly associated with Israel. It's like less than 1% of all the companies. You know, I know there's, and then if you start looking at Google or these other companies, I mean, just about all of them have some association with Israel. I mean, it seems unrealistic to think about divestment, but maybe I'm wrong. Explain how it would happen.
I think it's easier now than it was when we went to jail and when we took over buildings at Harvard in the 1970s, right? Because the percentage is much lower, as you know, and the money now is much more diverse. The portfolio that the market-driven universities have are so diversified. It's just that there's certain donors and there's certain benefactors they do not want to upset. And that's sad when big money and raw power dictates what kind of investment you have, let alone presidents, let alone curriculum. You know,
let me ask you about the big picture of what we're watching right now, right? So these protesters are sitting on the roof at Fordham, and we've seen it at other schools as well, waving a Palestinian flag. How are they actually helping their own cause? I mean, I know you're going to say, oh, they're drawing attention to it, but you know, look here, the domestic politics of the United States. I mean, you could just as easily make the argument that all of this is probably, you know, politically at least, could be helping Trump, could be hurting Biden, might be helping the perception of Israel that had been changing in weeks before the protests. I'm genuinely curious how you think they're helping their own cause as opposed to hurting it.
You know, my brother, anytime you engage in a moral and spiritual witness, you do not determine it by Machiavellian calculations or political calculations about what you're helping or hurting. If you fundamentally believe, as I do and so many of the students, that genocide is the lowest litmus test when it comes to morality and spirituality, you have to do something. You put your body on the line and you cast the spotlight on it so people can begin to see, lo and behold, there's a history here of Israeli domination and occupation. There's a history here of the United States enabling genocide, Biden denying genocide. And you know and I know that every liberal state has, as it were, a fascist fist in the liberal glove. Every liberal state has a fascist face behind its liberal mask. We saw it with indigenous peoples in America. We saw it with slavery and Jim Crow and Jane Crow in America. So it is now being very clear. The veil is ripped off and we see criminality We see unbelievable barbarity in the treatment of these Palestinians. Now, of course, we're against murder across the board. There's no doubt about that.
Right.
I believe, of course, students ought to be protected. A Jewish student is just as precious as the Palestinian.
Yeah, we talked about that last time you were on. You were clear about that. No anti-Semitism and all that kind of thing.
But the major issue is not just the protection of Jewish students when you're talking about massive murders and massacres in universities themselves dissolving. Have you heard one university professor say a mumbling word about 12 universities in Gaza completely leveled to the ground? Not one word.
Right. Thanks so much for watching. Just go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.